Okay, this story is going to sound wild, but I promise you I'm not making it up. A listener needs our help with her in-laws who visit 5 times a year, and every single time they leave the guest bathroom covered in poo. We're talking on the seat, under the seat, on the lid, under the lid, all over, even on the floor. But this last visit, this mess made its way into her private bath, and something inside of her just broke. So let me back it up, explain the situation so we can come together as a community and help this couple out. So her in-laws are on a very fixed budget. They have a fixed income from Social Security. They can't afford to stay at a hotel, and they knew this going into retirement. So this listener and her husband converted their garage into a little studio, has a bed, laundry is available in there, and a bathroom. And right from the start, they noticed that her father-in-law had an aiming issue. So for both purposes of the bathroom, aiming issues. And she's like, it feels like he could do it, but he just doesn't have the consideration to clean up after himself or whatever. And so they've just always known that. So going into this arrangement of having them visit 5 times a year, it's been agreed upon that her husband is the one that cleans up after his dad. So that's all fine and good. Well, inside their home, she has her own bathroom that she gets ready for in the morning. So she showers in there, gets ready, blow dries her hair. It's right off of the main living room. So she's in there getting ready, and this last visit, she keeps getting interrupted by her mother-in-law so she can go to the bathroom, which is really annoying to her. But the last time she got interrupted, she was blow drying her hair. Her mother-in-law goes in, has her morning movement. So if you can imagine going back in, it's steamy and showery, and she's smelling it, and she's like, ah! But then she looked closer and she's like, wait a minute, there is stuff on the toilet. And she noticed that this hasn't been a problem before, but maybe with her mother-in-law aging or whatever, she had stuff on the seat and on the floor, and she had tried to clean it up with toilet paper. She could see it. But with her mother-in-law aging, she has lost a lot of her mobility, so she can't actually bend over to pick things up. So she's like, well, she did try to clean it up, but just couldn't do it all the way. Well, she was still really annoyed because this is her private space and it's just gross. So she goes, gets her husband, tells him, you got to clean up after your mom now. He loses it. I think he just kind of got to the last part, his last straw, thinking, no, I've been doing this for years for my dad. Now my mom is doing this. I'm done. So in that moment, in the heat of it, he decides they're not coming here anymore. If we have to visit, I'll just go to them and take them out to eat at a restaurant because I can't go to their house because it's not sanitary. But no more coming to stay at her house. This is just too much. But she's coming to us saying, that's not okay. It's not feasible. My in-laws live for these visits. They need to come socialize with us. So we can't take that away from them. So she's wondering, she's asking us, is it reasonable if we just decrease the visits? And is it reasonable for me to say, you have to only use the guest bathroom? It's 20 feet away from the house. It's not too far. So even though she's slower to get there, she knows her father-in-law can very well help his wife and get her to the guest bathroom so they can contain the mess. So she's wondering, she's asking you, am I a terrible person for wanting to do this? Because I know they have to still keep coming, but my bathroom needs to stay my bathroom. I hate being interrupted when I'm getting ready. I definitely don't want to smell my mother-in-law's morning movements in the morning. And she's just like, give it to me straight. Okay, so first of all, I love your heart. I love how your husband is the one that's saying, I can't do this anymore. I'll just go visit them. And you as the daughter-in-law, you're saying, no. Your parents need this and they need to keep coming visiting. I love your heart. I love your heart, how you see how sweet your mother-in-law is and how she tried to clean it up and she just can't bend over anymore. And so you don't want to hurt her feelings. I just want you to know I see that tenderness, and I'm appreciative that you're acting very careful here. Before I give you my ideas, I just want to say full transparency so everybody knows this. I don't know if I would be able to say something personally. And I say that because I have had the honor to help, grandparents before they pass. I've had the honor to help my dad in hospice. My first degree was pre-med, so I just know the human body and I look at it a little bit differently. I just know that we're all gonna eventually get there, and it's what happens to us. So knowing that this is something new for your mother-in-law, and it's probably just absolutely mortifying and dehumanizing and all that stuff, I don't know if I could ever say anything personally. So let's now look at this through her lens, knowing that she needs her bathroom to be her bathroom. She hates being interrupted when she's getting ready. She wants to ask them to only use the guest bath, even though her mother-in-law is becoming more and more like slow. And she wants to prevent her husband from cutting it all off. Like, she wants to just decrease the frequency. So from her lens, I love the idea of just decreasing the frequency, because it seems like your husband is reaching a breaking point. So decreasing the frequency, but whatever you take away, you guys need to go visit them to make up the difference, because you're saying they need that socialization. So that would be my compromise there. In terms of having them use the guest bath, I think that's totally reasonable. And in theory, it sounds like a great idea. Like, just keep the mess contained, right? I definitely see that in theory working. However, I have family members who, when they have to go to the bathroom, it's now, and even 20 feet would cause them to have an accident. And so that would be even more mortifying for your mother-in-law. So you would have to play with that to see if that's a realistic option. Let's say it's not. Let's say it keeps getting worse where she doesn't have the time. Like, she can only just get right to the room right next, the bathroom right next to the living room. What I would do, because you're getting annoyed, getting interrupted for your morning routine, it sounds like you have multiple bathrooms in your main home. I don't, I just have one, but it sounds like you got more. So when my in-laws come and visit, because remember, you're going to decrease the frequency, so it's probably 2 or 3 times a year, I would tell myself this is just a temporary displacement, and I would move all my things and I would go to a separate bathroom. That way I could get ready. I'm not interrupted. I'm not smelling my mother-in-law's morning movements. It's just a better experience. And I would allow her to use the bathroom closest that keeps her dignity. And that's what I would try if keeping the guest bath, like you can only use that, doesn't work. So those are just my ideas. I would constantly be telling myself, like, we're all going to be going through this. Like, this is just part of aging. This is all temporary. They won't be coming forever. And I just, again, I see your heart. I love that you're protecting their visits, knowing that this is really important just for their cognitive, everything. It's really important that they have these visits. And I love that they have you, protecting this. And yeah, let's just see what the community has to say. And those are all my 2 cents. Okay, bye.